This is my first ride on the lowrider in 2022. I haven't been on it since I think December, so about 3 months. And it's always a little weird getting on a bike for the first time after winter, because I haven't ridden in several months, and it just takes a little time to get acclimated. However, since I got the Street Glide, I've ridden about 600 miles or so on that, and I knew it was going to be interesting getting on the lowrider for the first time after that. Every time I get on the Street Glide, I reach down with my left hand between the jugs for the ignition switch, and of course it's up on the dash. So I was wondering when I got on this if I was going to reach up towards the dash, but I didn't. I reached right down. I filled it with a tank of gas and rode home from the gas station and parked it. So it has a full tank of ethanol free. I hit the starter. It started right up, and the way the handlebars and everything were shaking, I was like, uh-oh, what happened? Like, did my motor mount break loose or something? You might recall my motor mount trials and travails last year. But no, it's riding just fine. It's just a lot more vibraty than a Street Glide Special. And it did take me a couple of minutes. I mean, the Dyna is a weird machine in so many ways. I mean, the way they have the rear swing arm attached to the transmission, and you have to align the rear wheel to the swing arm and align the swing arm and everything, the back half of the bike to the engine. It's a quirky machine, and the vibration is very noticeable at idle. You can see the handlebars and the windshield's like shaking, but as soon as you give it a few more 100 RPMs, it goes away. And the way it was described by an engineer who designs motor mounts for aircraft is that you're going to have vibration somewhere, and the challenge is to put that vibration at an RPM range where it's going to be the least problem. And so the Dyna folks decided, idle, let it vibrate, we don't care. But once you get riding, we want that vibration to go away, or diminish. That's a better word, because the Dyna is always going to vibrate. So, you know, I knew that, so I knew it wasn't going to rattle apart in my driveway, but it was just so different because the Street Glide is so smooth by comparison. The other thing is, I was wondering what it was going to feel like to throw my feet on foot pegs after being spoiled with floorboards for the last month. And I have to say, that isn't an issue. That part is fine. But overall, when I was just riding out of my community, I was thinking to myself, I don't know if this plan of mine is gonna work. I was like, I don't want to get rid of my lowrider, I was saying to myself last fall and winter, because I love this bike. I've done so much to it, I got it just the way I want it, and that's all true. But after riding the Street Glide, which has a new seat, new shocks, and other creature comforts, you know, less vibration right out the gate, all of a sudden, man, this lowrider isn't quite the she's perfect for me kind of bike that I was saying several months ago. Now, I'm not going to get rid of the lowrider. The plan was and continues to be to ride these two bikes equally, to not rack miles up on one bike. I mean, already this bike has 34.7, and by comparison, the Street Glides just broke 10,000. So since this is the first year with the Street Glide, I might, you know, do 4,000 on that and 2,000 on this one. But ideally, I'd like to do about 3,000 a piece. And I don't think that will be a problem. It's not like I can go buy a second Street Glide. Oh man, I wanted variety, and yes, I have variety. But it was just funny after, you know, I've had this lowrider for 4 years, in another month, and when it was my only bike, I was just totally in tune with it. So after each winter, you know, starting it up for the first time, there wasn't anything noticeable. It was all I knew. But after a month of very smooth Street Glide,
hello, what have we here?
all of a sudden, the old lowrider feels a little unrefined.
She may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid. I've made a lot of special modifications myself.
But I love it. I love how it looks, and I'll tell you what, it was so much easier pushing this out of the garage. That Street Glide is a heavy machine, for sure. The only time I had an experience similar to this would be when I'd go to the Harley demo truck ride, and I'd ride Street Glides, Road Glides, the Heritage, Softails, all those, and then get back on my bike, which is like 7 or 8 years older, and be like, oh man, my bike feels like a dog by comparison. But that wore off quickly. So that popped into my head when I got on this morning. Well guys, thanks for coming along with me. It's March 21st, and the days are slowly but surely getting warmer, drier. Well, I guess we're gonna get spring rain, but the roads are getting better for sure, and riding opportunities will abound. Until next time.